What's happening, YouTube? It's K-Mega405 live from the 405, where I'm just your regular gamer talking to the intelligent gamers out there. And as promised, I'm going to talk about the Microsoft conference and what I thought about it. But definitely, before I do that, I just got to address, you know, a lot of people was asking me, hey, man, you know, why are you getting so down on Sony for their press conference? It was legit. It was awesome. Listen, that's the one beautiful thing about gaming, is that we all have an opinion and we could talk about it and debate it. And I'm not going to take away from what Sony did in the very first 15-30 minutes of the conference, because it was absolutely amazing. Horizon Dawn looks like a game changer, a game seller for the PlayStation 4, no doubt. For a new IP, looked that way, played that good. I loved it. God of War, of course, I think it's the best PlayStation game right now. Like it's better than Uncharted to me. And then, you know, when they were showing Detroit, I loved all of that. I thought it was great. But there was a massive drop off. You know what I'm saying? If they kept it rolling and it was just as intense and had a great flow, I wouldn't have been knocking it. But let me just ask you this. I mean, you know, my boy Infrared Beam, Pothead Gamer, man, he gave the conference a 9.1 over just one game. Like, you know, my boy Rain made it clear. It's like he said it perfectly. Like, PlayStation hits on everybody's emotion, and it seems like nobody cares when the games are coming out. As long as they see a trailer to the game, then they get the nostalgia feeling and, oh, it's the best. No. And I have to remind Infrared Beam, that 9.1, really, you giving that to Kojima's game? A dead baby and man ass? That trailer right there dropped significantly. I could have gave it a B, but when they showed man ass and dead a baby, I was like, what did you do? What did you prove? What did you do? Bitch ass nigga, what did you do? What did you prove? What did you do? Bitch ass nigga, what did you do? So no, I am completely lost for words for some of the things that I hear and see. Look, I understand that we all have preferences, and that's a wonderful thing in gaming, but come on, guys. I swear, this pony spice that you guys really have and y'all ingesting, it is killing you. And I know Infrared, you behind enemy lines with all those PlayStation dudes, and they might have stuffed a little bit of dust up into your nose or something. But man, no, 9.1 is not happening. I mean, after the E3 press conference for Sony, like, dudes needed help. Like, they were like, it's done, it's over, it's finished.
Call the ambulance if you need help. What you need? Okay, give me a minute. Hey, this your boy Amos, aka Chicago. He need help. We gonna call him, tell me to get the ambulance out for this guy.
Come on, baby.
I'm gonna have somebody get.
They didn't have Barbaros. But I got you on my phone.
Hey, get my coffee, baby.
So yeah, man, it's like that. But anyway, let's get on to my point of the video, and that's Microsoft's press conference. Let's get started. I'm going to start off with the cons, and yes, I said cons. First con is that there was no Crackdown 3. That was... Crackdown has been out for a while now, and as much as we like to attack Sony for having games to come out late and be delayed and things of that nature, let's just be real. Crackdown has been out long enough, and we should have seen something about it. We should have seen something, like how it's progressing. I understand that they're probably going to make this like a flagship that goes with Project Scorpio, but regardless, it needs to show. They need to show something. I was not impressed with that. They needed to show us a little bit of something. Gamescom, I'm pretty sure they'll show us some gameplay or something, but I just needed to see some Crackdown because I was so excited about it last year, and then just not a wimp about it at E3 the Mecca. That was a big problem to me. Another problem that I had, another con, is that there was, and I understand they did the indie games all in one, but man, the game that would actually, I think that would actually have people buy Xbox Ones is Cuphead. I think they should have just had its own presentation. They like put Cuphead in a vault and just save it. Come on now. You have to show us this game. We have been waiting for it for so long. That's another game that's been out that I understand it takes work, because there has not been a game that I've ever seen like that. Kind of like Horizon Dawn. I mean, that's just, you know, it's just one of these games that just so original. And I'm really anticipating it, and I can't wait. That's a day one purchase, and I think that's for everybody. But I wish that they showed just give a little bit of time for that game, because regardless of all the indies that they were showing, that was the main indie I think everybody wants to get their hands on. And then another con that I did have, and this was not so much for during the conference, but afterwards when they were getting asked a question, and that's regarding is, you know, developers are only make games, you know, exclusively for the Scorpio. And you know what? I think when the developers get their hands on the Neo and the Scorpio, they're just going to make games primarily for them, because they have access to all that power. You know, they can make a downgraded version, but then that's just too much work and time. So I just think that they should have just been more direct on it. But other than that, look, that's kind of me nitpicking. The true facts is that the show was an absolute success. It was one of Xbox's better shows of all time, in my opinion. Man, I mean, if you've seen Gears of War 4 and you hated on it, you're just not a gamer. I mean, that game looked absolutely stunning. Turn 10, just absolutely the best racing developers there is in the market. You know, Forza Horizon 3 just looked so fun and so good. Recore looked fantastic. It reminds me of Metroid, and that is really good to see Japanese developers moving on and coming to the Xbox brand. Speaking of that, I mean, Scalebound, damn, like Scalebound was just, I was still on the fence for that, you know, but man, after seeing that, and then that was just the co-op side of it, that's a day one buy. Matter of fact, I'm finna pre-order it here in the next couple of months, just to make sure that I got my digital copy, because I want that game to be mine forever. It's just, damn, that big. And it also shows with the scale of that game that it shows why Turtles probably was failing, Transformers wasn't that good. You know, they just went all in with this. I just think this is probably going to be maybe one of those Game of the Year editions for real, man. It just looks sick. Then you also had Sea of Thieves. Looks very fun. It's going to be killed on YouTube and Twitch because of the element of being with your friends and playing on that. Is going to be kind of like an MMO, so it's going to be really awesome. The indies, I mean, what can you say? Like, PlayStation didn't even show indies, and Microsoft just kept showing all these indies, you know, and like, damn, I'm not even a big indie fan, but there was some indies that I really was getting into, like Below. They showed From Inside, which I do like. Limbo was creepy, and this game looks really crazy. Then there were some other games that said We Happy Here, I think that's what it's called, or we yeah, whatever that game is called. It kind of has a BioShock feel. That game was sick. That game was absolutely sick. And that was an indie, man. It was a wrap. Every game that they showed had some kind of flair, taste to it, some appeal. There was original games. There was the classics. There was Halo Wars 2. They even had Gwent. I'm like, damn, they touched on every genre of game that you could think of. And for anybody to knock that conference, to say that it wasn't worthy, I don't know where your gaming processor is. I really don't. And of course, the drop of the bomb, the big thing was the Project Scorpio. You know, and let's not forget about Cortana, the background music. That system just keeps evolving, just as PlayStation just stays the same. There's just so many good games they show. Battlefield 1, you know, it makes sense for them to have the marketing rights because of EA Access. You get to play it first there, backwards capability. I mean, the list goes on and on. There's just so many things. And then there was this also this app called VRV that's going to have Rooster Teeth and Crunchyroll doing some things, and then you're going to have Adult Swim content with it. It's just going to be, man, Xbox is murdering the game. They killed it at E3. But my favorite thing of all time is that everybody was talking about Kojima, right? No, hell no. It was Harada. When he said Tekken 7 was coming, plus everybody got Tekken Tag Turner for 2, man, I was walking in the house like this. Xbox is the best box, baby. We out.
In the studio, trying to calm your soul, looking at your manager. I think Chris a guy, man, I'll put you in the trunk with these soul whoop. Feel Will in my shot. I'm so prolific with these scriptures, they might give me a